Hello all. I'm doing this quick little video for a reason. Recently, within the past year or two, the Wildlife Gallery Tannery has switched from an alum tan, which was, in my opinion, one of the best freaking tans you can use. They have switched to a synthetic tan. And I'm here to say, this synthetic tan is garbage. I got back a batch of capes in a quicker time than they said that they would be back, which that was nice. That was nice. I'm not complaining about that. They were there for an exceptionally long time, and when they said they would be done within like 120 days, I think I got them back at about a week and a half, 2 weeks later. That's cool. What is not cool is what I'm about to show you. All right, what we have here is what at first blush looks like a nicely tanned white cape until you scratch the surface, just like Trump. You'll find that with him, you scratch his gold-plated surface, there's pig iron underneath. You go beneath the surface of this nice white tan skin, and you're going to find what looks like, if not raw, but nothing more than a pickled skin. Whatever this synthetic tan is, this synthetic tan is nothing but appears to me to be a surface tan. I started in taxidermy in a tannery. They put me to work in a tannery, working alongside Sinclair Clark. I'm sure everybody's heard this story by now. True story. But I can tell you that when you tan a pickled skin, you tan away, when you pickle a skin and shave it, what you remove reveals this. Now this is nice and soft underneath, but this here, stiff, very stiff. As far as I'm concerned, this is not a properly tanned skin. There's something wrong with this tan. This is tan the surface only. The color should remain pretty much constant all the way through. The thickness of the skin, I'm going to have to take this out and put it on my round knife to thin it properly. This is not properly thinned. Getting a batch back in record time, like when you're notified it's going to be 90 to 120 days before your order is complete, and you get it back in a week and a half, 2 weeks, that's fine to get them back that quick, but not when it's like this. Not when I've got this much work to correct. This is a lot. This is terrible. I will not be going back to the Wildlife Gallery Tannery. I'm going to stick with a tannery that I started with years ago, Arlington Cape. They're local. I can drive them up there 2 hours away. Also, there are marks on this skin here. You see these lines? These are from the shaving wheel. This is just plain sloppy. This is, they grabbed a bunch of capes, ran them over the machine, put them through whatever the hell cheap shit tan they're using, and this is the result. When I asked them why they changed from an alum tan to the synthetic tan, they gave me the excuse that, well, the people in Texas don't like the alum tan. You know what? I don't care what the goddamn people in Texas like or dislike. All right? There are people who came up in this business, like myself, who appreciate the astringency of an alum tan. Okay? This is crap. To get this, after you remove the heavy meat that you leave on to protect it from the shaving wheel, this is crap. This should not be. I will not be using Wildlife Gallery anymore. Period. That's it. Okay, this is the deer of the cape that I was demonstrating the problems with this new synthetic tan. This is it mounted. Looks pretty nice. Okay, looks pretty darn nice. The biggest problem I'm having with it, is the lack of stretch I'm getting out of this skin. Not only is there a lack of stretch, but the skin has got what's called a memory. Now, a memory is good when you're working with special effects and you need a skin to stretch and then come back on the return of the movement of the creature you're working with, whatnot. In taxidermy, the last thing you need is a skin that has a memory. When you stretch a skin, anyone of us, when we stretch a skin, it should not pull back to where it started. Now I'm going to demonstrate this on this deer. I want to show you what's happening with this synthetic tan. Now, I'm not new to this, okay? I'm no newbie. I've been involved in taxidermy since 1966. I've used a lot of different skins. I should say I've worked with a lot of different skins, preserved a lot of different ways. One thing has always been a constant. A properly tanned skin will always yield good results and always show an ability to stretch that skin to position it where it needs to be. That ain't the case with this one. That ain't the case with this particular synthetic tan that WG has gone with, Wildlife Gallery has gone with. This tan sucks. Allow me to demonstrate. Now I'm going to take a stout rougher and I'm going to pull this down, this wrinkle, which this deer has been covered. The little trick I learned years ago, when the skin is being difficult, what you do is wrap it in some damp to wet towels, not dripping wet, but wet towels, cover it with plastic for a couple of days, and I've done this. That will allow the skin to form out, to fill out to the form that it's on, and it will relax. Normally, it should relax. What I've got here, I pull down, I let go. The skin is slowly creeping its way back up. This means one thing. In order for me to keep it from pulling back, it's going to be required to be nailed down to the form. Now, for years while I used dextrin-based hide paste, I always nailed my skins down. It was an extra added assurance that the skin would stay in place. I have started using Pro One Performance hide paste. A fantastic hide paste, especially on a well-tanned skin. It does not normally require being nailed down. It holds. This thing has got to be nailed down to hold the skin into the depressions on the form, because as I press them in, they come right back out. Let me show that. As I press it in, you see it moving right back out. There's clay under here. You get it to stretch a little bit, you release it, and it bounces back out. It has a memory of its own. It's not doing what I want it to do. That's a bad tan. That's a bad tan. Now I'm going to continue, of course, I'm going to continue on mounting this deer. And when it's done, you'll see the full results. And right here, for instance, this is not wrinkles that I've put in. This is because it will not stretch properly over the skin, because it is stiff and tight and does not want to stretch. And you can see it creep. It's slowly trying to creep its way back. It should not do that. Yeah, you should taxi your skin forward a little bit. And also, I got news for them. This synthetic tan I don't know if it's their tan or whatever pickle they're using or what they did to these skins, but I've got an inordinate amount of hair loss coming off this cape. I'm not getting clumps, but I'm getting strands of hair coming out not here and there, all over this friggin' cape, okay? All over. You could see it moving back, pulling back. A well-tanned cape with good stretch should have no memory of its position. Now, I've got hair coming off of this thing. It looks like that witch from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. It looks like Witch Hazel when she would take off and bing, leave behind a bunch of bobby pins from her hair. Well, this thing is leaving behind a shitload of hair when I rub my hand over it. You see the hair just falling away. I will not be going back to this tannery again. They had a good tan. They had a great tan. They had an alum tan. What I'm getting now is a tan done by the Lutan F method, and that's a good method too. He uses a formic acid pickle, my tanner, and formic acid pickle is a very strong pickle. And Lutan F is a very, very good tan. I do not have this, but I've already mounted one from him. I've already mounted a cape I got back before these capes came back, and extraordinarily pleased with the stretch, the relaxation, and the mount that I got from that tan. But this, no more. Never again. Never again.